let's start, just one more thing here. Let's start right at we'll start in the front of your mat, so you're all ready to go for sun salutations. And you can just take your hands right onto your low back with your feet almost together, the balls of the feet together, the heels just a little bit apart. And take the hands onto the low back, press into the low back, and shoehorn up the low back. Take an in-breath, gaze up, really open the throat, lift the eyes, and then exhale and tuck the chin. So this is the position I've been really teaching to get a tightness in through the esophagus, and it's like making a lock in there. And then that means you have to suck the air in more strongly in through the nostrils. And then that will create expansion in your back because of the squeeze in the throat, that you have to suck the air in more like a tightened straw, and it'll create more expansion in the canister of your chest and your back. And take in 2 more deep breaths. Keeping the elbows pressing back and the hands pressing into the low back. Okay, and then just release the hands. Now take the hands behind, slide the shoulder blades down, take an in-breath, lift the chin, and then you're going to exhale forward, just a tiny one, just about halfway down, and send the wrists high so you come right out from your rib cage. I'm lifting the chin just to get a little bit more trajectory of the head out, and then come on in again, up, lift. Take an inhale to open the chest and the shoulders, and then exhale and fold forward again and send the wrists out. And breath. And then you can breathe in, draw all the way back up again. Okay, let's take our hands right to the front of the mat. We'll start with sun salutations. And taking the balls of the feet together, take the thumbs right to the heart center. You can press the elbows back, lift the chin, draw the rib cage in. Pull up all 10 toes, so you press down through the base of the toes, and you activate the quads by pulling up in through the thighs. Kneecaps will lift. And let's begin. Breathe in, bring your arms up overhead, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, just touch. Exhale, fold forward. Planting the hands, jumpers, step the legs back, come to the left side plank. Take your in-breath, take that left arm up. And then coming right back to your center. Breathe in, come all the way up, opening the chest and the shoulder. And then coming back to your center, come on into your plank and reach the heels out, feet hip width. Keep the knee in, shoulders back. You lift your chin slightly, that'll help to direct the head forward. And then really knit the ribs up and in. Come into a little half a giggle to a little to get your core starting to work for the day. And then take the legs wide, really warming up. And then take the legs together. One more time, wide. Keep the heels reaching out. And then together. And now pointing, keep the toes tucked under, bend the knees. And then look up, lift the chin, scoop the tailbone forward, pubic bone forward, lower yourself down. And then take the elbows right under the shoulders. Take an in-breath for 2 breaths for Sphinx, pressing the shoulder blades down as you gaze up, and you keep the elbows pressing strongly into the floor. And then next in-breath, bend the knees, take them right underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, take an in-breath, lift the eyes, arc the back, and then exhale and rise and lift into downward dog. You might keep your knees bent for the first one if the back is tight, to get more of a tip of your bum up towards the ceiling, and just let your head fall. So you get that traction right through the back of the neck, lifting, keeping the inner thighs moving back, and again the head dangles. Good. And now gazing up, come up onto the tiptoes, shift the hips forward, take an in-breath, jump or step the feet to the hands, come on halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. And then breathing in, bring the arms up overhead, press the pinkies together, keep the ribs in, and then you can the arms to sit. And then again, up, open through the chest. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Breathe in, come halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Planting the hands, jump or step the legs back. Rotate to the left, best version of side plank for you. We'll take an extra breath and take that arm in line with the ear, reaching out through the palm. That's an exhale. Then you breathe in, come all the way back. Rotate to the other side. Take an in-breath, extra one, and then rotate that arm around. Underside waist is lifting. And then you can breathe in, come all the way back. Rotate around. And now coming back to your plank, and we'll come down to the elbows, and so that you can get a little bit more of a pull up right from the higher rib cage. And send your heels out, send your tailbone out. Now take the legs wide and just dunk the right knee down and then straighten, and the left knee down and straighten. We'll do this 4 more times. Right knee and straighten, and left, straighten, ribs in, right and straighten, left and straighten. Now stay there, keep the heels reaching out, the inner thighs moving towards the ceiling. And then you can step the feet together. Now, bend the knees, push the pubic bone forward, tailbone forward, and then point the toes, come right into your sphinx. Lift the eyes, let the elbows press down. And then you come to neutral with the head. Bend the knees in underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Take an in-breath, lift the eyes. And then exhale, tuck the toes under, rise into your downward dog. And from here, bending the knees, draw the knees down. Now take the palms way forward. Come back with the bum into child's pose and palm the mat out there as you slide your shoulder blades down. And then let the forehead go. And as you breathe in and out through the nose, get nice and long. Keep that tailbone coming back. And then you can come back. Now you're going to take the hands right underneath the shoulders and then do the arc up again with the bum, lift the eyes, and then exhale, rise into downward dog. Lift your left leg straight up in the air. Come up on the toes of the right foot and then bend that left heel in. Circle the knee out. Get the knee coming high up on the ball of that right foot. And then you can extend that left leg out, really reach through the heel, strong through the leg. And then coming down. And now the right leg reaching up, come up on the toes of the left foot, bend that right heel in. Circle the right knee out. Opening, really reaching out. Strong through that knee. Extend the right leg out again, nice and strong. And then come down. Good. Usual downward dog, pull the bum bones back, lengthen the spine. Breath. One more breath. Next inhale, gazing up, tiptoes. Jump or step the feet to the hands. Come on, halfway up, flat back. And then exhale, fold, forward bend. Now breathe in, bring the arms up overhead. Keep the shoulders dropped. And then just exhale the arms to center. Okay, good, we're gonna keep going. Breath in, gaze up, open the chest. I felt like I was apologizing. Exhale, fold, forward, forward bend. Now breathe in, come halfway up, just touch at the shin. Stay here for a moment and make sure you're really pulling up through the inner thighs and you're pulling them back. So it's like you're shrink wrapping the lower belly button in and back to send the tailbone back more. Then you're in a really good position to then exhale and fold, plant the hands, jump or step the legs back, turn into your side plank to the left. Take a nice in-breath. And here we go for another one. And then take that arm over, lengthen from the waist. The underside waist is lifting. And then you get to windmill that arm down. Now rotate to the other side. Take an in-breath, opening the chest, underside waist lifted. Extend the arm over. Really lengthen from the underside waist. And then inhale, take that arm back. And now come on back to your plank. Step the feet together. Really send the heels back. Do your little giggle, little. And then rotate to the outside of the right foot. The legs are stacked if you can, or of course you can take your top left leg out to get a wider base, and then come back to your center. Rotate to the left. Keep the rib cage in and back to the center. Again to the right, and again the rib cage stays in and back to the left. Excellent. And back to the right. Just about 100 more. And back hitting to the center and to your left. One more time each side. Come over to the right. Keep the rib cage pulled up and in. And back to your left. The heels keep charging out the whole time, so you're really active through the legs. Back to the center. Now bend the knees. Keep the toes tucked under. Push the pubic bone forward. Lower down. Take the elbows under the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet down to come into Sphinx pose. The shoulder blades are sliding down. Your breath is steady. And then one more breath, keeping the elbows pressing. And then you can bend your knees in, come right underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, take an in-breath, lift the eyes, and then exhale and rise into your downward dog. So the flow that we do at the beginning is a circulatory warm-up. So the value of moving this way is that we can really increase the blood flow to all areas of the body, and then we can start to isolate. Really folding a lot in order to open up in through the low back. Now, just take your feet together, turn both heels to the outside to the right, and then press your heels down to stretch in through the calves. I sometimes even like to lift my right toes up. Maybe you can. Just getting more of a stretch in through the foot. And then back to the center, press over to the left, pressing the heels forward, way up and back. Long as you pull the bum bones up. And then center, step into usual downward dog. Now bend the knees and tip the bone up high, length right through the back, and the head falls. Top of the head is just reaching to the floor. Okay, now we're going to come out of salutation, take the feet wide. Sorry, your hands wide. And I want you to then step your right hand, right foot, guys, step the right and bend your back knee, straighten your front leg, and pull the leg back. And keep that right foot pressing down inside of that right leg. And stay with your breath. Right foot, right thigh, especially on the exhale there. We change, so shift that leg back. Hands on either side of that left foot. Press the right heel back. Foot down and one more breath, pulling up through that thigh, especially to the back. Now on next in breath, bend everything, front and back legs, and then step the foot forward, back, right foot forward. Feet together, come into your forward bend and go into any version that's good. You might want to bend the knees, bring the belly or chest in contact with your thighs. And if you're doing that version, take your feet hip width apart, so they'll be about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches apart. Let your head dangle. And if you're staying in the straight-legged version, feet together, hands on either side of your feet. And take 3 more deep breaths. Continue to pull up through the thighs. Continue through the fronts of the feet. And one more breath. Okay, we're going to straighten the legs. Take the hands just in front of the feet to the fingertips. Breathe in, gaze up, lift the eyes, And then exhale and fold. And now scoop, swan the arms out to the side. Breathe in, lift. Come all the way back up. And then you can exhale the arms to center. Okay, we're going to take the feet just hip width apart. Now step your left leg back and turn the left heel out 45 degrees. Bending the front right knee, take the right elbow down and then turn to the left and draw that left shoulder blade back. The front right knee is directed forward, the chest is open, and you're drawing the rib cage in as you reach out through the top of the head. And then take that right hand, if you can, or stay here, to the inside of that right foot and either press on fingertips or get down and keep that left waist coming back. Good, so the front right knee bent out, back left heel pressing down, and breath. One more breath, keep the left waist drawing back. Okay, good, let's come up. Lift, press into the back left heel, and then we'll turn this around, turn the right heel out, left toes to the back, bending that front left knee, and now taking that left elbow down, draw the right shoulder back, gazing up towards the ceiling, the chin is in slightly, and you keep that top right shoulder coming back as you lengthen out from the waist. Breathing is steady, keeping that back right heel pressing. Now we lower, take the left hand down onto the inside, turn, gaze to the ceiling, draw that shoulder blade back, and keeping that knee bent, and breath, breath. Good, one more breath. Now on the next in-breath, come on up, press into that back heel. Now you can turn the feet parallel and then bend the front right knee, step your left foot back 8 inches and have that left heel turning out on a diagonal. Gaze just beyond the middle fingers and rise right from the top of the head. The right knee, if you can, will come to a right angle as you direct that knee out. The hip is tucked under that right hip, so you keep the knee directly over the ankle. Keep drawing that back shoulder blade back, spread the shoulders, rise from the top of the head. And now let's bend down to that right knee again. And then this arm, top arm comes over and back instead of high. So let that top left shoulder blade come back, gaze to the ceiling with the chin in, and keep that front right knee bent and directing forward as the back left heel presses back. 2 more breaths. Good. Look down, breathe in, come all the way back up. We'll turn to the left, turning the left toes facing front. Draw the right rib cage back, right shoulder back. Rise from the top of the head. Keep that back right heel pressing down. Keep the rib cage lifted. And your side body is opening to the side, you're lifting. Now you bend down to that left knee. Take the right shoulder back. Keep that front left knee directed forward, opening. Stay with your breath. Keeping that shoulder back. Still lots of weight in that back right foot, so you're not lunging forward, but you keep your weight even. You have about 40% of the weight in your back foot. And then we come back up. Now you can turn and face that left hand as you come into your warrior on this side with the front left knee bent. Draw your right waist back, opening through the side body. Now we're going to turn this around to face the front again, and we're going to turn the right toes out. Now take your left thumb down. The palm will be facing back, and then you're going to take that hand around. Use your right hand to coax the elbow across, and then grab the hand. Now straighten this front right knee, and you're going to bend out over the right leg and turn and face the side. And you'll reach right out through the top of the head as your left Shoulder and hip are coming back. The front right knee is bent slightly. And if you can straighten it fully, do. Not locked, but fully straightened and pulling up through that right thigh. Keep reaching out from the left waist, keeping the rib cage open. And then breathe in, come on back up. We're going to turn this around exactly so you can turn the right toes parallel, left toes to face the front on the outside other way. And then we'll take that right arm, we'll take the thumb down, take the arm across, grabbing the elbow, and then interlacing the hands. Open through the side body, front left knee bent slightly, tip out of the right side, and open to the right side. Keep your chin in as you reach out through the top of the head. As you keep on pressing that right elbow back, as you keep on pulling up through that left thigh, breath is steady as you're reaching out. Still lots of weight in that back right foot, in the front leg as straight as you can, or keep it bent if that's working better to get into keeping your right waist back, your back hip. And then you breathe in, come on all the way back up. And now you can turn and face the feet parallel, and you can take your legs wider, probably about 4 inches. So you want to be a leg length and a half apart. Take the hands onto the back, be like a superhero, and then just thumbs on the sides. And then you take an in-breath, gaze up. Now exhale, fold forward. Take your hands right underneath the shoulders. And then you're going to take your legs wide to work on opening through the inner thighs. And not all the way, but just to the point where you feel the guitar strings of the inner thighs start to pull. And then just look up, and the hands are just right even with your shoulders. And you're gazing up as you pull the bum bones up. Lifting through the spine and pulling up strongly through the core to get that lift. Now you're going to inch your heel, foot, heel, toes in. So you come in about 6 inches. And then take an inhale, do the same position, lift the eyes, lift the chest, and then exhale and fold forward. Now you're keeping your hands where they are and bending from the elbows to get your fold. And your head dangles. Keep on pulling up from the thighs as you press down into your feet. Legs active. Breath. Now you can breathe in, come on all the way back up. Now we'll turn towards the right foot. I'm hoping that's the one that's at the front. And you're going to turn towards that foot and come up on the back toes. Now lift the rib cage, step your left foot over to the left a bit so your body is squared to the front. And keep that left heel pressing back. The leg is active. Press your hands down. The shoulder blades slide down the back. You're just gazing up to lengthen the spine with the back leg active. Breathing in and out. Let's do 2 more breaths here, keeping that left heel reaching back. Keep the leg strong, really reach out through the heel, really reach. Now we're going to rotate. Press your left hand in exactly beside your right hand, and then press into that left palm, turn to your right, and draw the right shoulder blade back, and your chest is open. Keep that front right knee directed forward, and then you can take that right hand down. Now come on down onto the back left knee. Keep the toes pointed under, and then take the hands just in front of the toes, and they're together. So I'll just show you from the front. You're going to have your hands together like this, and you just kind of pull up from the chest as you press the palms into the floor, right beside that right foot. And again, the back toes are tucked under. Now pull up from the skin of the belly button. That area is really pulling up as the shoulder blades slide down, and your throat is open, and your chin is slightly lifted. And you take in 1 more breath. Okay, now you either stay here, or I'm going to show you 2 versions, and you point the toe and you pull up a bit further. So I stuck my chest out more. If you have the ability to pull the left foot up, you pull the left foot up, grab on behind, lift the rib cage, open the chest as you press into the palm, and pull the leg in. You can also move back towards the leg. That'll still open this front left shoulder. So feel for the best position. Either way, you're pulling up from the skin of the belly button, and you keep lifting from the rib cage, gazing ahead, keeping the rib cage pulled in. And then you can gently release that left foot down. Okay, we're going to change legs. So walk your hands in about 3 inches, and then bend that right knee back. Now we'll take the hands over to the right, take a big in breath, and take 1 or 2 swoops to take that. You might even help your left leg forward like me, and then take the hands to be even just on the inside of that left foot. Lift from the rib cage, point the toes under, come into your runner's lunge with the left knee directing forward and the right knee lifted high, the heel pressing back. Shoulders are sliding down and the rib cage is coming in. You're gazing ahead, the back leg's super strong. Really reach the heel out. Come on down onto that back knee down now rather, and then lift from the rib cage, keep the toes tucked under. Lift, lift, pulling up from the skin. Keep the front left knee tucked into the torso, so you're trying not to dump. But really always, as in yoga, you're rising from every direction. So the lower abs pull in, you pull up. So you get that yoking point right, that center nucleus stretch right in the area of the belly. And then you either, oh my goodness, I want to know what to do. One was pull up like this, and then I wanted to show you this one. But if you can grab the foot, pull up, and if not, do your lift so that you're pulling up right from the rib cage. And if you have your hands here, of course, you're pulling up right from the skin. Do attempt to stay squared towards the front as much as you can, especially if you're grabbing that back foot. So you try not to turn to the right. And you keep your rise right from the belly button, pulling up. Keep the front left knee tucked in. Rise, back elbow bends if it's pulling in. Lifting the ribs, breath. And then you can take that foot down, come into the runner's lunge, tucking the toes under, reach that heel up. Keep that back knee lifted. Breath, breath. And then you can bend that knee down. Okay, let's take your left foot back and come right into child's pose. Release the weight of the forehead to the floor and just palming the floor while I get some water. Keep the palms really reaching out, the core strongly pulling back. Now on your next inhale, take the arms over to the left and draw your right waist back. Release the forehead. Palm the floor out there. And one more breath. Good. Now come on over to the right. Stretch and lengthen out from that left side, releasing the weight of the head. On your exhale, you're really pulling the left abdominal wall in, so you lengthen your back. And one more deep breath. Good, and then you can walk the hands back to the middle. Now come to the elbows, palms are apart, and then walk your knees back so they're right underneath the bum. Now take an in-breath and lift the eyes. It'll be a tiny rise. And then you exhale and round your spine. You're pressing the elbows as if they're going right through the floor. And then breathing in, gaze up, lift the eyes. And exhale, round. Tops of the feet pressing down. And then breathe in, gaze up, lift the eyes. And exhale, round. Pressing the tops of the feet down. And then breathe in, gaze up. Arcing the back, And then exhale and round. Stay in the rounded position and gently turn and look side to side. You don't need to tuck the chin. You don't need to tuck it. It's just a matter of letting the weight of the head go. And then we'll take this right back into child's pose and turn your cheek to the right and draw back right from the low core. Get the palms still reaching out, so you're palming the mat out there. And one more deep breath. Good. And then just turning the head and release. Good. Stay with your breathing. Very nice. And then from there, come on right back up to all fours. And you can take the knees wide and then walk the hands forward as far as they'll go with your bum high. And then pull back and look up at your palms. And keep the tailbone drawing back. Now just for a moment, press the toes down. And then do a little giggle. Pull your lower abdominals in, do a little to get your tailbone to come back. And then one more breath here. Now, if this feels so good through your low back, then please feel free to stay. I'd love for you to find a pose that's just so working. And then take your hands right underneath the shoulders again. In your tabletop position, take the right hand just under your nose, press down, take the left arm up, inhale, turn, bring that palm back, and then you can slide the left shoulder blade across, get way over on the outside of the left shoulder, and then either stay down with the right hand or breathe in and twist and take that right hand back. Nice deep breath. Opening. One more breath. And then you can take that right hand down. Now breathe in, come on back up. And then taking the right hand across, thread over, get that shoulder blade as far across as you can. And then notice if you'd like to lift that left arm, feel for the best position. And breathing in and out. You're pulling up strongly through the lower abdominals. And keeping your breathing constant. Opening. And then you can take that left arm down, push into the floor. Come on into kneeling position. And you can come into a nice tall spine with the shoulders dropped back. So we will come into breath of joy and we'll do 35 pumps. We'll go for 2 rounds. And just notice if you need to blow your nose because it can get kind of messy. And the arms are out, elbows are back just a tiny bit. So again, the position is you're a tiny bit back, you're not forward. So you're nicely lifted from the rib cage and lungs will be a bit more open. And here we go, 35 pumps, breathing in. You can let your arms go. Take in 3 regular breaths, space in between ribs, hips, shoulders back. Nicely rising right from the crown of the head. Feel the weight evenly distributed on the sitting bones. One more nice full breath. Here we go, breathing in. Letting the arms release. Now just feel the shoulders drop back. Take in a very deep breath. Let the breath stay inside if you can, or exhale. And I wanted to tell you after we started the inhale, because I wanted you to really feel if you want to feel the expansion. And then slowly exhaling, let out a little bit of air at a time. Okay, lovely. Now let's take the legs straight forward. And before we start our forward bends from this position and our twists, I'd like you to come right onto your back by just hugging under the knees. Roll and round, coming back, and then pull the knees in and have the knees come wide, just holding behind the knees. Good. And then take the heels up in the air. Now come into happy baby, bending the knees to the outside. Let the elbows bend. Let your shoulders come back. Do a little rock side to side. Good. And then you can let your heels fall again. Hold behind the knees, draw the knees together, and then hug at the fronts of the knees. Do a gentle roll side to side. Okay, good. Now you can either roll to your right side and drop to seated, or if you want to build momentum and roll all the way up to seated, back and forth, just keep the chin tucked as you do a few rolls to build up the momentum. And then you can take your legs straight in front. Take the bum bones back so you come right to the front of the bum. And then draw your toes back, especially the baby toe side, and have that nice lifted spine. Now you can take your left heel in and press that left heel onto the inside of the right thigh. Draw the right toes back. Take a lift right from the inhale. You're going to exhale and extend out over that leg and pull the toes back as you reach forward. Keep the rib cage pulling in as you extend forward. And pulling up from the rib cage as you get out there. Now you're going to be there and take your left hand across on the outside of the right foot. And then just take your left hand on the outside and pull yourself forward. Use that leverage of your hand to get a little more of a reach. And if you're holding on higher, that's okay too. Just use a pull of your shoulder down. I hope that works. I find that I just get leverage of pulling the body across like that. And another thing that might help from the side is that you might, I find generally I'll end up doing this. And I find that pulls me back and forward. So I thought you might like that or that to push. But if that works well too, take the arm back, thumb up, and then you can extend forward that way. And that gives more of a pull forward. Just make sure the chin is natural, so you might drop the chin a little bit more. But if it's okay to gaze at the toes, that gets along the spine. And then one more breath. And then you can breathe in, come on back up. We'll change legs, taking that right foot in and left leg out. Come right to the front of the bum bone, square the hips to the front. Take your in-breath, gazing up, and then exhale and extend out over that leg. Keep pulling up from the thighs as you reach forward. Extending out, keep the toes pulling back, reaching the heel. Then you can take that right hand on the outside, find your best position for this left hand, coming out, reaching forward from the waist. Keep the rib cage pulled in as you come forward. Good. Baby toe side is coming back as you get that reach. Stay with your breath. And then you can draw all the way back up. Great. Now you're going to take this left heel in again, and I'm going to give you two versions. One is to have the foot right in front of the left buttock. The other is to, and I'll show you this, and then, then you would take your elbow over, press into the elbows. I know some of you are wrappers. You would take the hand behind, hold, fold forward, and this is a great stretch of the foot. So I hope I'm going to go slow on this one. Your thumb is up, so it's like a hitchhike, and you've got your hand just underneath your calf. Then you use your opposite right hand to hold your heel. Take your hands, hold on to the ball of the foot, and then you take that heel and you coax it up high and as close into you as you can get. And maybe it goes to the top of the thigh. Now my knee goes down on this side. This is fantastic for opening your hip. And then you extend forward over the leg. If you're like this, no problem. But if you can get the strong arc of the foot and the foot pulled in onto the ball of the foot, you're going to get a different rotation in your low back and your hip. It's amazing. And it's a great way to open at one side of your low back. And you're really extending forward. Keep reaching out from the rib cage. Breath. And then you can breathe in. Come on, all the way back up. Okay, gently stretch that knee because sometimes it can be a bit delicate after that strong arc. And then taking this foot in, and again, either the foot in front and you're taking your elbow, or you're wrapping, or here we go. Lift this foot, take your thumb up, take your thumb on the outside ball of the foot, use your left hand to coax in. I'm very tight on this side, so you might have a different version. And then you reach and extend forward and pull the toes back as you reach out over that straight leg. Get the reach out. Keep your breathing steady as you extend forward as much as you can. Keeping that knee reaching out, keeping the heel pressing into the body. Breath. Reaching. Okay, and then you can gently just lift. Come on, back up. Okay, now we're going to take both feet like this, that we've got the heels together. Now, if you can come just so far forward that you're off your mat, if you have a slippery place, if you have a rug, it doesn't matter, you could stay on your mat. The heels are together, so you're very rotated out through the knees. Now the thumbs come together, and you're going to take the hands under, and you're going to grab onto your feet. And this will give you a great propulsion forward, and you're going to use the pull of your hands to pull you forward from your low back. And this reach forward comes from the chest extending forward. Sometimes it's nice to kind of poise and lift the chin and then drop it to come forward more. Now I'm wishing this will come strongly into the band across here, which is very hard to isolate. And this is almost like doing a cheating turtle where you have your arms under and you can pull yourself forward more. Now do lift the chin, take an in-breath. There's a bigger stretch through the low back, and then exhale and round and let your head dangle. And just breathe in and out here so you're getting an opening in through the low back, upper back in a cat round. And do feel free to tuck the chin more as long as you keep the elbows in and tucked and down. And going right into your low back. And one more breath. Okay, very good. Now you're going to slowly come back up. We're going to do the same thing on your back. So because this is new, I'm going to demonstrate. You're going to come down. You've got your heels together. This is not yoga. Your toes are on the outside. Your knees are rotated out. So there you are. You come on the inside. I have short legs. My hands are going to grab my feet. You might just be here and you grab your ankles. If you can grab your feet, they rotate out. It will press your low back down into the floor. You do a gentle rock side to side. If you're not grabbing the feet, you can just pull your thumbs back towards you. That will press your low back down. And then you do a gentle rock there, side to side. And if this is an extra version you can do, because I can grab the feet, I'm going to pull my feet towards me more. But please stay in the other two if the feet aren't grabbing. And then you can press your low back down into the floor really strongly. Stay with your breathing. Good. And one more breath. Okay. Now release the hands if they're grabbing, and then release the feet to the floor and let the heels land. So you're in the nice flat back position with your feet just hip width apart. And then bring your heels in really close. Bring the hands towards the heels. And just before we come into bridge, I'd like to pull the knees together and pull and have you hug your knees in just to stretch them through the low back one more time. The elbows are bending. And see if you can even pull your tailbone off the floor to get that much of a rise. The elbows are bending to the outside. Breathing is steady. Good. And then exhale, release the heels down and have them in really close to the buttocks. Grabbing onto the heels, come right into your bridge lift. Send the tailbone out and press the backs of the arms into the floor as you keep pressing the knees away. And as the backs of the arms press into the floor, keep pressing on the insides of the feet. Breathing steady. Higher and out. Please press the inside feet. More at the feet than squeezing anywhere in the back or the bum. Keep the knees pressing away from you. We're going to do 5 more breaths to deepen and lengthen the pose and to keep the tailbone reaching out, shoulder blades pressing back. And then take the hands underneath, interlace the fingers, wriggle the wrist down towards your feet even more. Keep pressing on the insides of the feet to keep the knees from splaying out. And press the backs of the arms into the floor. And we've got 2 more breaths. Great, release the arms. Slowly start to come down. Keep your tailbone tilted out so you can lower the upper back down first and then coming down through your low back. Good, now you pull the knees in wide and pull the knees in so much that your tailbone comes slightly off the floor. And then do come into happy baby, bending the knees, holding on to the feet, the knees coming to the outside. Stay with your breath. And then come into a gentle rock side to side. Breathing. Okay, fantastic. Let the heels drop. Have your feet just on the outside edges of the mat, and for a moment, let your arms rest to the side with the palms turned up. Feel your low back settle. Good. And then stretch the arms overhead. Press the backs of the arms onto the floor. Reach out through the fingertips, spread the fingers. Now press your shoulder blades under so your neck is long and free. And then take the arms out to the side. Great, arms are down. And now with your knees wide, feet wide, outside edges of the mat, bend your knees over to the left and press that top right knee away. Take your left ankle, take it above the right knee and tip over to that left side. Reach the right arm up now on an angle and reach that palm out, stretch through the right rib cage, armpit. And keep reaching with the legs over to the left. Okay, great. And then take that arm down, bend up and uncross that left leg, bend both knees over to the right. Press that left arm up on a diagonal. Really open underneath that left shoulder. Take the right ankle, take it above the left knee, drop. Keep pressing the legs over to the right. Stay with your breathing. Keep that left palm reaching out. Keep that left waist reaching down. One more deep breath. And then you can uncross that right ankle. Breathe in, draw all the way back up to the middle. Cross now the right ankle above the left knee and let that right knee press out. Take your right hand above the right knee to press it out. Now grab behind the left leg and pull the leg up. Stay with your breathing. breath. Pull in as much as you can. Good, a little further if you can. Deepen the breath. And one more breath. Excellent. And now you can let that left heel down. Uncross, recross the left ankle, take it above. Just press that left knee away for a moment. And then grabbing behind the right knee. Pull the right leg in. Let your elbows bend. And keep that left knee rotating out. See if you can pull in a little more on the exhale. Breath. A little more if you can. Stay with the breathing. Really good. And then gently release that right foot. Uncross the knees. Now take the feet in the air, straight in the air. Come on into toe circles. This is like a gentle replacement for shoulder stand, just so we can work more on the inversion without committing to the upper body and stretching further. Now just come on in both directions. And then you can point and flex. Pull the toes back, point and flex. And point and flex really strongly. Once more, point, hold. Make fists with the toes, really point. Stretch through the tops of the shins. And then pull the toes back, reach the heels out, lengthen through the backs of the legs. Good, let the heels drop. Take the arms out to the side like a T, without the heels touching the floor if you can. Bend all the way over to the left, kiss the knees together. And take 2 breaths here, hovering off the floor if you can. Otherwise, drop down if it's too much through the core. And 1 more breath. And then breathe in, come on up to the middle, come on over to the right, just staying off the floor. Keep that left shoulder blade pressing back. Keep the knees together. And then you can breathe in to the middle, let your heels come down, and then stretch the arms just behind the head, pressing the elbows back. And then you can straighten your legs. Let your feet roll out in relaxation. And now press your arms back, press your shoulder blades under, so you'll wriggle them under. And take a big breath to expand in through the rib cage. Your feet are relaxed, lower body letting go. Good, and do that 2 more times. And as you press the arms back, make sure also the ribs press back. Keeping the chest opening. And then you can gently release the arms right down to the side of the body. And you can come right into Shavasana, right into lying relaxation. Just let your whole body go. Feel your shoulders releasing back. Just let your palms roll up to the ceiling. Your fingers naturally curl. Feel the spaces in the back letting down. So you're releasing into the floor. Notice if there's any other area of your body that could soften more as you lie in Shavasana, even if it's just to let a thumb go. Shavasana is such a good time to let all the little subtle nuances of energy that have shifted inside your body land. So feel your body take in all the little alterations that have gone on inside your nervous system and your tissue. And as you lie there, think of an area of your body, if there is, or maybe your whole body is an organism, one whole organism. And think of that area or the whole body as what kind of energy you want to pump into it today to fill it up. This will be our intention part. So feel into how you would like to experience your body in this day with a delighted energy, maybe a peaceful energy, an awake, alive energy. You can even get very specific and frame it, decide exactly how that energy is going to work in the world. For example, yesterday I spent some time with two young girls, and their imaginative energy is so alive and awake. So imagination is the first piece before we evoke what we need for our day. And evoke that energy now. And taking one more minute to let go and completely release. Keep on letting go. And then in the last few moments of peace and surrender, just feel really good. You came, you did it, you're here. You set up your body to experience the day in a much more open way. Hey, that rhymes. And you're great. You're great. And then just take the arms out to the side like a T. Press the backs of the arms into the floor. Feel the chest open. And then just soften and land like a puddle, pour over the floor, let go softly. And then you can take your arms down to the side of the body. Let your head gently roll side to side. And then relax the head, bend the knees. Hug the knees in really close. Gentle rock side to side. And then you either roll to your left side, or if you want to roll up and down and roll up to seated to have some fun, to go a little bit more energetic, just roll to the best way you wish. And come on right up to seated position. We'll take a moment to sit and name that intention one more time. Feel the intention right in your belly brain. And then you can draw your awareness right back to this room. And we'll bring our hands together and bow in namaste. Namaste. Have a great day, you guys. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Just trying to think. I will be commenting on when the studio will be opening again as the big open begins in levels and stages. So I am going to wait a couple more weeks, and then I will let you know how I'll be setting it up. I'll be having a maximum number of students coming in, and people will just need to let me know ahead of time exactly. And so, yeah, I'll let you know in 2 weeks what the next step is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sabine. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.